Hey yo, guess who's back again. Tell a friend. It's Fat Money. We're back with another video. Make sure to subscribe, comment and share. I've talked about countless fixed and rigged UFC fights previously, but today I'm going to talk about fixed boxing matches, something which I've never done before. According to my research, if you want to discuss fixed boxing matches, then look no further than Floyd Money Mayweather. Money Mayweather is literally synonymous with fixed and fake boxing fights. Fixed and rigged boxing matches are done through the refs, judges, boxers and organisers. Fixed fights in boxing have always been very prevalent at the lower and higher end of the market, where journeyman fighters struggle to make a living and are more easily bought out by corrupt betting syndicates to a world champion who commands millions of dollars per fight. Before we start, this video is not a knock on Mayweather's ability. He's one of the most talented and best boxers ever. He has a iron chin and knockout power. However, Floyd Money Mayweather partaking in fixed matches isn't something new. There have been various reports coming out over the years, but he reassured me that he definitely takes part in fixed boxing matches after his performance with Conor McGregor and Tenshin Nasukawa, if I'm pronouncing that correctly. Floyd Mayweather is literally the real life $1 million man. For those who don't know what the $1 million man gimmick was, it's a wrestling gimmick used by WWE legend Ted DiBiase in the early 90s. He would pay wrestlers to let him win. This is how you perfectly characterize Floyd Mayweather currently. Judges have even come forward about this, but it seems to have been swept under the rug. It all started with the De La Hoya fight. Since then, most of his fights have looked sketchy, from the ref protecting Floyd to the awkward judging. And let's not forget that Mayweather Promotions, who controls Floyd's fights, who refs the fights, and who judges the fights. So, what do you think the outcome will ultimately be? We all know what the outcome will be. Fans aren't the only people that called out Mayweather for fixed fighting. Legendary boxing personalities such as Bernard Hopkins, one of the most successful boxers of the past 30 years, has angrily claimed that Conor McGregor's upcoming showdown with Floyd Mayweather is a fake news fight, and insisted that the MMA star should never have been granted a boxing license. He's never had any experience as an amateur or a professional, so how does any commission in Vegas or anywhere give him a license to fight a guy like Mayweather, who is one of the icon guys of our era? How does he get a chance? And then you also have Oscar De La Hoya, who says that the Floyd Mayweather and Conor McGregor fight was a scam. And then you have, in 2015, a judge came out forward revealing that him and possibly 3 other judges were paid to vote in favour for money teams Floyd Mayweather on multiple occasions. He quotes, I mean, what did he think would happen once the checks stopped depositing into my account? This Las Vegas judge was on at least 5 of Floyd Mayweather's fights. Mayweather hasn't responded to the accusations other than posting a video of him going through a check in true Money Mayweather fashion. A formal investigation by the Boxing Association was in progress, but so far no formal charges or stripping of his titles belts were ever completed. I wonder why. If we actually look at some of his fights, I will mention 2 or 3 popular ones. For example, his fight with Maidana. Showtime broadcast team admitted that well-respected boxing referee Kenny Bayless was paid off. This was the biggest money-making fight in boxing at that time, where Mayweather got paid around $25 million, and Maidana also got the biggest payday of his life. You can look at this conspiracy in 2 angles. One, that the match was fixed and Maidana made $3 million and more, and was paid to he was paid to lose. Or the match was rigged and Maidana had no chance of winning. The reason why I say that is because if you watch round 10, watch it with 1 minute left into the round, Maidana is nailing Mayweather with multiple left hooks, and despite that fact, Bayless actually instantaneously jumps in, risking getting hit with a Maidana punch just to protect Floyd. And if we move on to the Pacquiao fight, his auntie says in an interview, I quote, "The reason the fight went down the way it was because people were paid off." So this was his auntie's statement, Manny Pacquiao's auntie. Even Manny Pacquiao himself said that Mayweather didn't do anything in the fight, he just ran around the ring. But at the same time, an anonymous insider from the Pacquiao camp said the entire fight was staged and fixed. He also states that Mayweather offered Pacquiao an extra $20 million under the table to continue on and go easy on him. So, not to mention the fact that Mayweather's camp picked the referee, and from what this article says is that he also paid off the Nevada Boxing Commission. If Mayweather is a king of boxing fights, then Conor McGregor is a king of fake MMA fights. What do you get when you put these two What do you get when you put these two together in a spectator sport? You get a fake spectacle. The only losers in the match were the people who spent money on buying seats and those who purchased it at home. Mayweather, while walking to the ring, subliminally showed everyone who purchased the fight that they are being robbed by wearing a ski mask, something which he has never ever done in his career. Conor McGregor is notorious, no pun intended, for taking part in fixed UFC fights. He's been called out by other UFC fighters such as Wanderlei Silva and Khabib Nurmagomedov. Even fake athletes such as WWE wrestler Chris Jericho states, I quote, "I have seen wrestling matches more real than McGregor fights. His fights have been extremely fixed, where his opponents have been paid to lose, or he's been involved in rigged fights where the company has done its best to make him win by cheating and even rigging scorecards, which is perfectly obvious from the Khabib fight. His notable fixed fights are, according to research, Mendes, Aldo, Diaz 2, Alvarez, and the heavily rigged match against Khabib. This fight, obviously, with McGregor was nothing but a hype fight. Obviously, he was on the rise that time due to his popularity, and Floyd and both Conor McGregor, they obviously made use of their popularity and made a lot of money. Then we move on to the tension fight. Mayweather admits that there was no training camp for the fight. That must be a first in history for an athlete. Why would you need training camp when the fight was fixed and everyone knew the outcome anyway? The fight was an actual joke. Tension could have won an Oscar for his performance, and quite frankly was very embarrassing to watch him take dives like he got hit by a train. After the fight, Mayweather claimed he just sparred a few times. So obviously we knew why anyway. So to conclude, it's not all Floyd's fault that his fights are fixed. Mayweather works in a corrupt environment where cash rules everything around them. It's the promoters, odd makers, anyone else that stands to gain tens of millions of dollars to see a result that must have Floyd win. Obviously Floyd gets paid regardless. Floyd Mayweather is a very marketable person due to his undefeated record and lavish lifestyle. Fans love this materialistic outlook, and promoters will keep promoting until Mayweather dies. Hope you guys enjoyed. Let me know, guys, what you think in the comment section. Make sure to subscribe, comment and share, and I'll see you next time. Peace.
Boogie it up.